it.
Give me that basketball.
Yeah.
I think your niece is gonna hold you to that.
20 points, I'll take her anything. She'll be 25 minutes.
Make her run heels or something.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, we will, ladies and gentlemen, it is now 10 o'clock. I will entertain a motion to resume the Board of County Commissioners and enter into this public hearing. And today, once again, it is December 6th, 2022.
I'll make the motion to come out of recess and enter into the liquor license hearing for the Royal Tavern.
I second that motion.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes?
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes.
Okay, so 10 o'clock, at this point in time, we're going to call anyone wishing to provide a comment on the liquor license application for the Royal Tavern. Do we have anyone wishing to provide testimony, pro-testimony for the Royal Tavern at this point in time, either here or online? And if you do so, we're gonna go through a swearing in.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Welcome.
Oh,
Yes.
would you please come up? I know you're here for the application on your liquor license, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. At this point in time, sir, our council is going to swear you in.
Sure.
Aye.
Can you please raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly affirm under the penalty of perjury, the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Can you please state your name for the record?
Pardon me?
Your name for the record, please.
Amadeo C. Duran.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Duran.
Good morning.
So we have an application in front of us as the Board of County Commissioners from your business, the Royal Tavern. Please explain to us, and this is basically a public hearing. We invited you to come here and give us an explanation for the renewal of your license, sir.
Explanation why I want to redo it?
That's correct.
I don't feel like quitting yet. I've worked 47 years. I see no reason not to apply for it.
And Chairman, if I may,
Are you saying you want to know why it's not over or why?
let me give a little bit of background perspective why we're at this point, Mr. Duran. It was brought to the board's attention that a license with the health department was not in compliance at that time, or we would probably have went forward with it at that time. So this is the opportunity to see if that has been resolved with the health department.
I don't know what's going on with it over there. Could I ask them to give me a brochure or something to show me what they need or what they want?
Okay.
And Mr. Chavez, I guess, in charge now, he don't know. And that gal that wrote me, is not there, so I don't know what to do.
Okay, so I think they are on the call today too, so we'll give them a chance to speak here shortly and be sworn in as well.
That is correct.
But the whole reason why we tabled the liquor license application is because we were notified from the health department that you didn't have a food license. That's
I don't
what.
understand why they need another sink in there either. It's just mind-boggling. There's be 4 sinks behind the bar.
Okay.
I don't understand. Maybe for food service, if you serve food, but I'm not allowed to serve food anymore according to the health inspector. Don't have a proper kitchen.
So, Mr. Duran, you haven't had an opportunity to meet with the health department?
No,
Okay.
just that Mr. Chavez, he didn't know anything about it. He gave me a little brochure. Part of it says that food service people need to get another sink. But didn't say anything about bars or taverns. I was wondering if I don't serve food, why would I need another sink? It's amazing. We have hot soapy water, hot wrist water, and then sanitized water. So our hands are always sanitized. I don't understand that. Of course, I don't either, it's up to the health department.
So, I have a question for legal. Under the tavern license code, which this is what has here, right? This is it's a type of tavern license. What's the legalities for providing some sort of frozen or pizzas or food that we know of?
Under 443414, which is the tavern license, subsection 1 reads, "A tavern license shall be issued to persons selling alcohol beverages by the drink only to customers for consumption on the premises. A tavern license shall have sandwiches and light snacks available for consumption on the premises during business hours, but need not have meals available for consumption." So under the statute, some type of food, their sandwiches can include frozen pizzas, burritos, things to that nature, but some type of food has to be under the statute.
So council, would it be proper if we swear in, I see we have Ms. Robin Sykes from the health department, so we can ask some of the questions while we have Mr. Duran as well present?
If they give me something that shows me what I have to do, the only thing that remember is the sink. There was something else that they wanted done, but I don't remember what it was.
And that is correct. Well, we want to make certain that the health department and you have the conversation, and I would even say that a walkthrough would be proper, so they can identify and go over through the checklist that they may have. So, Ms. Sykes, are you online with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, very good. Let us go through the swearing in, and we have a couple of questions for you, ma'am.
Ms. Sykes, can you please raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Please state your name for the record, and then you can provide your statement.
Robin Sykes.
Commissioner Luis Lopez.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sykes, for being here with us today. So, just for you were listening, and the background was there was not a food license at the time that we came before the board, so we are here at this point with this public hearing moving forward. So, under the statute that Ms. Nelson just read, with having sandwiches and or frozen burritos and that type of small types of product available, would that require a full-on restaurant-style seat capacities, or could it be something like a convenience store would sell, where they're not preparing the food and they could not have to comply with the full sinks and the issues that Mr. Duran mentioned earlier?
So, if we want to just step back a little bit and talk about the inspection that instigated this, this concern from our department, the last time I was in there was in 2019, and then shortly thereafter we went into COVID. But at that time, there was no hand sink in the bar, no way for them to wash their hands, and food was being brought in from the home. It was being prepared in a home, not from a approved source. So those things initiated this comment by us, and since then we have not been able to get in there for any type of inspection. So we can't move forward with licensing if we can't get in and do an inspection and if we don't have these items that are in compliance. So those are the things that this department's looking to address for this hearing.
Okay, and thanks for the background, but for, and that being said, if the food was not being prepared from a home and was prepackaged items, would they need to be required for all of the kitchen facilities as a full-blown restaurant would be, or could they not need that other than a washing to wash their hands?
So they could do frozen pizzas, that is still licensable because it's a perishable type food item. So it still requires at least a limited food service license, but within that, he still has to have a 3-compartment sink to wash the glasses or whatever he's serving bar drinks in, potentially a pizza cutter, a scoop for the ice, and then like a pizza server or something such as that, pizza pan. So those things all need to be washed. And so yeah, he still is required to have at a minimum the 3-compartment sink and a hand wash sink, because when you touch dirty glasses or utensils from a customer, you don't want to pass those same germs on to the next customer. So a separate hand sink must be provided and cannot be part of the 3-compartment sink, and it can't be the same one that the customers use in the restrooms or the restrooms to wash their hands. So there has to be a completely separate sink for that.
Okay. So what Mr. Duran testified that he does have the 3-compartment sink as now, and possibly not the hand washing sink. So between yourself and Mr. Duran, can you two come to make an appointment to do the inspection, so we can move forward with this? Would that be available for you, Mr. Duran?
Sure, anytime.
Okay. So, because that's, yeah, we want to, this business has been here for 40-some years, and I sure hate to see it be shuttered due to the fact of just a compliance issue that we could probably easily resolve with the sink at this time. And then make sure.
She's not familiar with bars like that, and she mentioned washing glasses with the extra sink, and that's ridiculous. We already have 3 sinks to do that.
So whatever needs to be done moving forward, I think that's, for my opinion, of assisting you and having the health department assist you to keep your doors open. I think that might be the best issue at this time. And will we have to table this again, or will we can make a motion, Counselor, providing a license is permitted?
If I may, Commissioner, my recommendation, I think, went back and read a lot of the statute, and I think what this is actually making exactly what Commissioner Bislop is saying. The health department and you get together, go through a walkthrough, and identify the corrections. And I would imagine, besides, I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think what would have to happen is you would have to certify, even once, the 2 of you get together, we want you to update or whatever the case may be, and just notify us that the requirements have been met. And then at that point in time, I think my perspective would be to table it and give the opportunity for the 2 of you to work together, and then come back and we can review the progress and recommendations from the health department. Am I kind of on the right perspective on these sites?
Yeah, that's exactly what we would like to do. We want him to be in compliance, but at the time of the last inspection, we got no response from that inspection, those inspection requirements, and so we can't move forward with it being an approved facility in our mind, because that happens with all of our places that hold liquor licenses here in Trinidad and the county, so same thing.
The question I would have moving forward, Chairman, is your license expiration date, what is the expiration date of that license? Because if it expires without a renewal, the fees change.
Once he filed his renewal application, he is effective until you make a decision.
Okay, good. Thank you, Counselor. I withdraw the question, Mr. Duran.
I will let you know the date when you will be setting it again for another hearing, then you will have to post notice or publish. It'll be. You have to have at least 10 days notice, because you have to publish it for a public hearing. Just so you.
And I think, given the conditions, if we approve, and so my question would be, if we approve today, as Commissioner Bislop is talking about, giving meeting of the conditions, I am also okay with that. But I'd rather you and the health department, Mr. Duran, get together, go through the process, and even if we have to have another hearing like we're having today, I think if the conditions are met, it would be much simpler and possibly, it's just that, to me, it's a thing of communication.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. Mr. Grant, you'll be able to operate still until we reconvene, probably within the next, scheduled 30 days?
I would just clarify that he will still have an active liquor license. I'm not sure what he's allowed to do with the health department's position, but as far as the board stands, he would have an active liquor license until a decision is made.
Thank you, Counselor.
I could add one thing. The license that he currently holds with us expires December 31st of this year.
That's for the food service.
So, how long do the licenses last, Ms. Sykes, from the Health Department? The last time we were in 2019?
It lasts, it's a calendar year license, and so he has received those renewals, but it's been recommended to us from the state that if someone is not being inspected and is still holding on to a license, then we should not renew that license.
So there is an active approved license right now, however, you just haven't had an inspection for the future license for 2023?
Right.
Well, that puts another conundrum in there. If it's an active license, can we even deny it or move forward? Do we have to approve it? I think we're going to need some legal advice and take a 10-minute recess for executive session for advice by legal counsel. I'll make that motion.
I second that motion.
Commissioner Felix Lopez,
Yes.
Commissioner Luis Lopez.
Yes. We'll be right back. Just go ahead and have a seat.
for your patience, Mr. Duran, Mrs. Sykes. We appreciate. We will now resume our public hearing.
Motion to exit executive session and reconvene the hearing.
I second the motion.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes?
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes. Chairman, if I may,
Proceed.
Mr. Duran, in hearing the testimony today between yourself and the health department, by statute, it appears that you are in compliance with the health department and have an active license, therefore we cannot move forward and deny until a later date, if possibly you do not come in compliance with the health department. Since your license is active as right now to the end of December, I feel we can move forward at this time, Chairman, in making a motion to move forward on this issue. So it does appear, but I would highly recommend that you do make the date with an appointment with Ms. Sykes and the health department, and for your future license of December or January 2023, moving forward and get it come into compliance for that year. It actually says we're not in compliance because of an inspection, but you have an active legal license from the state of Colorado, the Los Angeles County, and the health department, and therefore I see no reason, Chairman, to not approve at this time.
So you're making a motion to proceed and approve the liquor license for the Royal Tavern.
Yes, I am. I make that motion to approve the liquor license for the Royal Tavern, Mr. Green.
And I second that motion.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Duran.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
And just follow up with the health department.
I'll stop by now and see if I can talk to him.
Okay. Robin, are you in the offices?
I am.
Okay.
Very good.
I understand that Chavez is going to take care of me. Is that true?
He is the current inspector for that facility. I did it back in 2019, and since then, we've shifted some inspections. So yeah, will be the compliance person, but it's still our department, so it's fine. He can talk to either one of us.
Okay.
Thank you both for your time.
Thank you, sir. It is now 10:22, and this public hearing has been closed. At this point in time, I will entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Motion to go into executive session to CRS 24-6402-4B, confirm with the county attorney for the purposes of receiving legal advice on acknowledgement, LUR, audit.
And I second that motion.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robin.